good rule of thumb with challenging memories in the past is to recall them, and then to also recall afterwards how they strengthened you, how they made you who you are, and also how you got through them. Because usually what we kind of figure out when we listen to someone's story is that they had unique kind of coping mechanisms or unique kind of resilience that they were using to negotiate that difficult moment. So actually, we discover really important things about a person by their challenging points in their story. And sometimes we can kind of take those out and explore those a little bit more and figure out important parts of ourselves. One of the things that can happen when we're sifting and sorting through some of these memories that we're going through is we can come across a memory that evokes in us positive emotions, things like love, affection, joy, security, safety, these kinds of things. And we can also, it can evoke difficult or painful emotions too. This can be a little bit confusing for people. How can I be feeling, I'm thinking about this thing, and how can I be feeling kind of love and anger at the same time? That's complex. Those are conflicting. How can I be feeling sort of sadness and gratitude at the same time? How can I be feeling sort of apprehension and excitement at the same time? These are really important. So in therapy, these are kind of gold. If you come across these, slow down and spend a little time with this, because what I would say is memories that have these mixed emotions often point us in the direction of our unique resilience. Now, what's resilience? What is that? Because we're hearing a lot about that, aren't we? Okay. The gist of it is, without the boring research part of it, the gist of it is resilience is the way that we bounce back and the way that we get through. Sometimes in life we feel like we're bouncing back, we're doing really well, I can handle this challenging situation, right? Sometimes in life we feel like we're just getting through, we're surviving, okay? Here's the thing, both are great. Bouncing back and getting through, surviving, it's all good. And what we know is that the ways in which we do this are unique to each of us. Okay, so when somebody goes back into their story and they recall something challenging or something difficult, let's say a point at which they lost somebody they loved, and they come back to that and they have all those feelings of sadness, pain, maybe sometimes anxiety is one that can also come up with grief that people don't think about. Okay, feeling those kind of difficult emotions, remembering that difficult time. Well, also, sometimes what comes along with that is, that was really hard and it's really hard to feel it right now, but I'm so grateful that person was in my life and I feel, the fullness of that, or I loved them so much, or they were the person who really got me, I had a relationship with someone who really understood me. And when I think about them, I can feel that again and I'm connected to that again, okay? Now, the thing about bridging the gap between the pain and those good emotions is that usually draws forward some of our unique resilience. How did you get from the pain to this? The pain to the gratitude, right? Okay, that's an important part of who you are. All right, so we're going to do a little exercise on resilience. Now, what I'd like you to do is I want you to kind of try to recollect or bring back a memory that was challenging, a struggling time in your life. It could be right now, that's possible. But the thing that I want you to do is, we don't want your biggest struggle, not the biggest struggle that you've ever had in your life. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's think of maybe like a 5, 6, a tricky time that you got through and bounced back from, okay? Now, once you've identified that, let's get stuck into this. How did you do it, right? What unique personality characteristics or unique strengths did you have that got you through? Who helped you? How did they help you? How were you kind of prepared to deal with this? Give a little thought to that. Think a little bit about what beliefs you have or had then that sustained you. What thoughts did you have? What was the self-talk? How did you keep yourself going, you know? How did you keep others going sometimes? That can be really good. Another thing that can be good is to think back to yourself then, from this vantage point, and to affirm yourself. What would you say to that person back then when they were going through that moment? What would you say to sort of console them or help them keep going? Because that's actually a part of you too. We know that there's a tethering between that person in the past and the person who you are now. What important things did you learn as a result of this struggle, right? And how did they help you approach the future differently? Sometimes even better than before. That's the key. Sometimes the struggle actually makes us better than before. But we have to spend a little time thinking about that, okay? And some other questions that can help us to sort of dig into this a little bit more is, where did you learn resilience from, right? So who were the people in your life that showed you how to bounce back? Who showed you how to get through? How did they show you? What did they teach you? What did their life kind of bear witness to you, to that made you think, yeah, I need to do things like that? Okay, and here's the last and final question. When you think back to that and you're sort of pulling out your resilience from that time, all those character strengths and all of that, my next and last question to you is, how can that help you right now? How can you draw upon that right now to manage any issues that are going on now, any problems that are coming up now, and to approach the future with a good, strong sense of, this is who I am, this is where I'm going.